Hi, and welcome to Advice for New Students in the Media Communications and Technologies course. I've just completed the first month, and I know what it feels like to dive in for the first time. To make the journey smoother, I'd like to share 3 pieces of advice that I believe will help you stay on track, grow your skills, and complete the course successfully. Okay, let's start.
1. Build a weekly study rhythm, not a last-minute sprint. What to do? Block out specific hours every week for readings, assignments, and project prep. Treat them like non-negotiable appointments. How to implement? Use a digital calendar or planner, Google Calendar, Notion, even your phone reminders. Color code your course tasks and set gentle notifications one day before each deadline so nothing sneaks up on you. Why it helps? You avoid the stress of rushing at the last minute, and regular smaller sessions keep you engaged and focused instead of cramming everything in one night. If you skip this habit, you risk burnout, missed deadlines, and surface level learning instead of real understanding.
Okay, the real truth. There were nights when my neurons begged me for the dopamine of Netflix binges or endless scrolling, but I knew that fantasy would vanish at 2 a.m. when deadlines screamed back at me. But yes, I carved out sacred hours in my week, like stones in a path. I opened my calendar and painted blocks of time in neon colors, turquoise for reading, fuchsia for writing, yellow for review. Each one a glowing reminder that progress happens in small, steady sparks, not frantic all-nighters. Without rhythm, I'd collapse into chaos, exhausted, guilty, scrambling. With rhythm, I felt a quiet pride, less stress, more focus, a sense of control. The work became less a mountain and more a song, one beat after another until the week felt like harmony.
2. Treat participation as practice, not performance. What to do? Warn, engage in discussions, peer feedback, and activities as if they're your creative gym. Don't worry about being perfect. Worry about being present. How to implement? Post in forums early, even if your thoughts feel rough. Respond to at least 2 classmates with thoughtful questions or encouragement. Share your ideas and let them evolve through feedback. Why it helps? Participation is how you sharpen your voice and build confidence. You'll connect with classmates who might become collaborators down the road. If you hold back, you miss opportunities to practice communication and creativity in a low-stakes space.
And about participation? Well, I used to freeze before clicking post as if the forum was an arena with critics in the shadows. But then I reminded myself, this is not the Olympics, this is rehearsal, a creative gym where rough ideas lift heavy weights until they become strong. I showed up early, even with imperfect thoughts. I commented on classmates' work with curiosity instead of judgment. I asked questions that sounded awkward but opened doors. And slowly, the silence broke, my voice stretched, my writing loosened, my confidence grew. Because when you treat every discussion like a test, you suffocate. But when you treat it like practice, you breathe, you evolve. And maybe, just maybe, you find collaborators who are also stumbling forward, turning mistakes into momentum. And turn your camera on when you go to the weekly syncs. Nobody wants to talk to a wall of black squares. We need to see real people there. Trust me, even messy hair is better than nothing.
3. Build a feedback habit. Ask, listen, apply. What to do? Actively seek feedback from peers and instructors and treat it as a resource, not criticism. How to implement? After turning in an assignment, ask, what's one thing I did well? What's one thing I can improve? Keep a simple feedback log, a doc or notebook, where you jot down patterns that come up. Apply one piece of feedback to your next assignment. Why it helps? feedback accelerates growth. You'll avoid repeating mistakes. It shows instructors that you're invested in learning, not just grades. Ignoring feedback means missing the fastest way to improve your craft. And now, the real truth.
Okay, about the feedback habit. At first, feedback felt like an X-ray, exposing cracks I wanted to hide. But then I realized it's not an X-ray, it's a compass, a guide pointing me toward the writer I could become. I asked my professor, what's one thing I did well? One thing I should fix? I opened a simple notebook and wrote those answers down. And before each new assignment, I read that notebook like a spellbook, applying one small lesson at a time. Feedback is a shortcut through the maze. Ignore it and you'll keep hitting the same walls. Listen, and suddenly there's a door. Growth doesn't come from protecting your ego. It comes from letting go of fear and building forward one insight at a time.
And that's it. Those are my 3 pieces of advice to help you get through this course with less stress and more confidence. Build your rhythm, treat participation as practice, and embrace feedback. Thanks for listening and good luck. You've got this.
Hello there, this is me, this is real me, this is not an AI video generator. Okay, I expect that you have enjoyed my 3 advices on media communications and technologies course. And of course, remember that all the tools, all the techniques I use to generate these AI videos are there on internet. And the most part of these tools are free to test, to try. So you can do your own research on how to use these techniques. And also, additionally, you have a lot of information about engagement strategies there, and believe me, you are going to use them. You are going to know what are these engagement strategies to capture the minds or the feelings or the emotions of your audience. So you have all the information on internet. Use it wisely. My last advice is block your agenda, attend the deadlines, submit your assignments, and that kind of path, you are going to be okay. So thank you for your time, and see you there on some forum, on some channel on the university. Thank you. Bye bye.